Welcome, vigilant listeners, to a conversation that could redefine your financial future. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on an economic monster that many believed was vanquished decades ago, a beast that lurks in the shadows, waiting for the perfect storm. We're talking about stagflation. You've probably felt the tremors already. Prices at the grocery store seem to have a mind of their own. Your rent keeps climbing, and that feeling of your paycheck shrinking, no matter how hard you work, is all too real. But what if I told you that these aren't just isolated headaches? What if they're symptoms of a much larger, far more sinister economic condition? A condition that combines the worst of all worlds: high prices, stalled growth, and disappearing jobs. In the next few minutes, we're not just going to define this economic nightmare. We're going to expose its very soul. You'll learn what it is, how it sneaks into an economy, why it's a trap for nations and a terror for individuals, and most importantly, what you can do to shield your wealth and secure your future. This isn't just about understanding economics. It's about arming yourself with knowledge. So, stay with me, because your financial well-being might just depend on grasping every chilling detail we uncover. Imagine for a moment an economic paradox. Most of us are taught that when the economy is booming, prices tend to rise because everyone has money and wants to buy things. Conversely, when times are tough and jobs are scarce, prices usually fall because nobody's spending. It's a simple, almost elegant dance of supply and demand. But then, there's the nightmare scenario. What if prices keep soaring? While your neighbor loses their job, businesses stagnate, and the entire economy grinds to a halt. That unholy trinity, that economic abomination, is stagflation. It's when a nation faces slowing growth, sky-high unemployment, and persistent inflation all at the same time. It's like trying to cool down your food by blowing on it, while someone else is trying to heat it up at the same time. The efforts cancel each other out, and the problem just festers, leaving policymakers in an agonizing bind. This condition is so uniquely troubling because the traditional tools used to fix one problem only make the others worse. It's an economic quicksand, pulling everyone deeper into despair. So, how does an economy stumble into such a dire state? The path to this nightmare is often paved with a combination of insidious factors. First, imagine sudden, crippling supply shocks. Picture a world that suddenly sees the cost of essential raw materials, say energy or key components, skyrocket overnight. Perhaps major trade routes are disrupted, or new, hefty levies are imposed on vital imports. This isn't just a bump in the road. It's a massive economic punch to the gut. Businesses suddenly face astronomically higher costs to produce their goods. What do? They have two grim choices. Either raise their prices to cover these expenses, fueling inflation, or cut production and lay off workers to stay afloat, increasing unemployment. Often they do both, trapping the economy in a painful squeeze. Then add a dose of policy missteps. Imagine a nation's financial guardians trying to boost employment by pumping more money into the system or increasing government spending, even as those supply shocks are pushing prices higher. Or, conversely, they try to rein in inflation by sharply hiking borrowing costs, only to choke off economic activity and trigger mass layoffs. When these critical decisions clash, they create a policy trap. It's like having two drivers in a car, one slamming the gas and the other hitting the brakes, while everyone in the back suffers the whiplash. And finally, the most insidious ingredient: de-anchored expectations. When people begin to believe that high prices are here to stay, they start acting on that belief. Workers demand higher wages just to keep up with the rising cost of living. Businesses, anticipating these higher labor costs and material prices, preemptively raise their own prices. This creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, a vicious wage price spiral that spins an economy out of control. Once these expectations take hold, they are a beast incredibly hard to tame without causing immense pain. This isn't some abstract economic theory. This is about your life, your money, your future. The consequences of stagflation hit close to home, directly impacting your daily existence in brutal ways. First, your purchasing power vanishes like smoke. That dollar in your wallet buys less and less each day. Groceries, gas, rent, everything becomes increasingly expensive. You might earn the same, but you're effectively getting poorer. The harder you work, the more frustrating it becomes as your efforts seem to yield diminishing returns. Next, your savings erode. That money you diligently set aside for a down payment, your child's education, or retirement, its value is quietly devoured by the relentless rise in prices, especially if your investments aren't growing faster than inflation. It's like a silent, invisible tax on your hard-earned wealth. Then, there's the chilling threat to your job security. As businesses struggle with slowing growth and rising costs, they often resort to layoffs, leading to fewer opportunities and greater economic anxiety for everyone. The safety net you once felt slowly unravels. Even your carefully chosen investments suffer. The markets become volatile, unpredictable, and potentially disastrous, especially for long-term bonds and high-growth stocks. This agonizing combination of rising costs and disappearing opportunities creates what some call a misery index. It's not just a statistic. It's a direct measure of the hardship inflicted on ordinary people. The future becomes a landscape shrouded in uncertainty, making long-term planning seem like a futile exercise. But here's the crucial part. Understanding is your first line of defense. You are not powerless in the face of this potential economic storm. The future belongs to those who are informed, prepared, and proactive. While nations grapple with policy dilemmas, individuals can take concrete steps to fortify their own financial castles. Educate yourself and adapt your skills. In a world of economic uncertainty, your most valuable asset is often your ability to learn, to grow, and to remain indispensable in your chosen field. Invest in yourself, continuously upgrading your knowledge and skills to meet evolving market demands. Diversify your investments strategically. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Consider assets that have historically shown resilience during inflationary periods, such as tangible assets like real estate or commodities. Look into inflation-protected securities, designed specifically to shield your capital from the erosion of prices. Even certain types of stocks, those in companies with strong pricing power, can offer a hedge. The goal isn't just nominal returns, but real returns. What your money actually buys after inflation. Budget wisely and adjust your spending habits. In times of rising prices, every dollar counts. Review your expenses, identify areas where costs are creeping up, and find smart alternatives. Prioritize necessities and delay non-essential purchases when prices are inflated. This isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. It's about being an active participant in your financial destiny, not a passive victim. The economic tides may shift, but with knowledge and strategic action, you can navigate even the choppiest waters. Stagflation is a formidable adversary, an economic nightmare that can cast a long, dark shadow over prosperity. But remember this, nightmares only have power if you let them. By understanding its nature, its causes, and its profound impact, you transform fear into foresight and uncertainty into opportunity. So stay vigilant, stay informed, take control of your financial narrative. Because in a world of complex economic forces, your greatest superpower is your ability to understand and adapt. Don't just watch the headlines. Understand the forces behind them. The future is unwritten, but your part in it can be one of resilience and strength.